Welcome to RHI's Sociable City interviews, where we meet with global thought leaders on nightlife and the social economy. Today, we are joined by Shaticka Robinson, an award-winning chef, pitmaster, entrepreneur, and proud Nashville native whose work reflects the rich culture and bold flavor of the city that raised her. As the season 3 winner of Netflix BBQ Showdown, she gained national recognition for blending Southern tradition with refined technique, creating elevated barbecue that feeds both the body and the soul. Well, hello. It's so great to meet you and to have this opportunity for a conversation.
Hello, it is nice to meet you as well. I'm really excited.
Okay. Well, let's just get started. I read through your bio, and you seem to have had a lot of different opportunities in your career. Can you kind of trace a little bit of your background and some of the stages you've gone through?
Absolutely. Just starting right off, I started cooking at a very young age, probably at about 7, and always knew that food was a passion, but it was also a happy place for me because it was somewhere, a place I could share with my mom, my grandma, my dad. So food has always, and being in the kitchen has always been something really important to me and a safe space for me, I could say. Now, as I grew, I went down some other paths, had kids and was married, but found that culinary kept calling me. And so I did go to Nashville State for a while before I ended up at Gaylord Hotel as my first job in the industry, working as a line cook with Gaylord Opryland. And it was after Opryland, I always call it Opryland because I'm from here. So that area will always be Opryland to me. But it was before Gaylord really took over that name of just Gaylord, and way before the mall. But I did that and I started there. That was my first, so about 20 years ago. Then moved on through to Marriott Hotels, the Hutton Hotel. They had a really upscale restaurant called 1808 that I was a line cook at, and just kept moving my way through to pastry chef at Lipscomb University. Worked at a small catering, and then I took a break from food because I was feeling just a little burnout from not being able to rise like I thought I should be able to. And so I took a break for a while and for probably about 2 or 3 years. And then I got the sous chef position at with Aramark at Tennessee State University. And 5 months later, I was the executive chef there until now, the winner of Netflix Barbecue Showdown.
Yeah. So now you have your own catering uh, 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 business.
Absolutely.
Is that where you are now? That's how you kind of got got your notoriety. Um, but it seems to me like you've had a lot of corporate experiences, but now you're an independent venue operator. And
Absolutely.
how do you see that transition? And of all of the different places you've worked or the different jobs you've had, which has been the most fulfilling?
The most fulfilling, I would say, has was Tennessee State University. It's the impact that I was able to have on a lot of the students that were there. When I first started at Tennessee State, their numbers for participation of coming into the cafeteria was really low. And I couldn't understand that because I attended Tennessee State as well. So I wanted the cafeteria to feel like a space of like it was their own kitchen, a place that they could come, away from home. So I feel like I was a huge impact at Tennessee State. By the time I left, our numbers had tripled in the numbers of students that was participating in their meal plan. So being able to grow relationships with students, faculty members, clients was huge for me.
So that was so while you were there, you basically shifted the dietary focus so that students who are tough audiences for the most part
Absolutely.
became enamored. What were some of your secret sauce recipes that you think got them back into the cafeteria?
So at HBCUs, you have usually there's a day that is called Fried Chicken Day. So our day was Fried Chicken Wednesday, and just being able to know that I understand the culture of an HBCU and putting all of that into my menus and making the menus feel like more items they actually would have back home versus the items that they were putting on the menu prior to me being there. So I believe that it was a huge understanding the culture was a huge difference.
So when you say you understood the culture, what made a huge difference? I mean, how does food and culture kind of interact from your perspective?
Oh, it interacts tremendously. If I am at a HBCU, and for instance, and all the only thing that is on the menu may be a lot of Mediterranean dishes or Asian dishes, that doesn't really speak to who I am. So when someone is able to come in and to understand the things that make me feel or make them feel like home, you incorporate those items into the menu. Not to say that you don't still offer Mediterranean, Asian, Italian dishes, but there has to be items available for those kids to feel like, oh, I can come and have an experience, whether it makes me feel like home or if I want Hispanic food, Mediterranean food, it's all here. Before I was there wasn't that many opportunities to feel like home. The only day that they actually had that experience was Fried Chicken Wednesdays. So I was able to incorporate those menu items throughout the whole week. So it wasn't just once a week where you felt like you could come into the calf and have an item from home.
So in your different experiences, you've been in Nashville for how long have you been in the Nashville area?
I was born here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
I'm an Army brat, so we moved away for a bit. So I lived in Texas, Kentucky, and Germany
Yeah.
for a few years. But once my dad had a medical discharge, we came back home to Nashville. So
Oh,
this is
okay.
home. This is
This
home.
is
I've
your
been here.
home, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've
so
seen the changes.
so how what changes have you noticed in the whole dining food world? I mean, when I was in Nashville, it's obviously a diverse community. It has people from many different backgrounds, and I expect that might be reflected in the food. But how have you seen the dining world change in Nashville?
Tremendously. Nashville, I used to call it the little big city because I know we were the capital of Nashville, but in order to really go and feel like a big city, go to Chicago or you could go to Atlanta because they had more options, more food options, really good food options. Back in the day with Nashville, that wasn't so much the case. It was really hard trying to expand your palate because there weren't a lot of restaurants you could actually do that with here. And I mean, now when you drive around Nashville, it's so diverse. It's so many different restaurants, whether large or small, from Asian to Hispanic to Mediterranean to Italian to soul food. You have that option now, where before that wasn't really an option.
Yeah, I know when I first came to Nashville, they took me out to lunch and they said I had to get the fried bologna sandwich. You're not going to get it anywhere else. And
To get it from.
yeah, so I guess that's one of your unique culinary delights when you're in Nashville, huh?
That is something that you can get in Nashville. That's probably something that as a child I ate quite frequently. I never went out to actually get that from a restaurant, but that was something that we had at home. So,
Hmm.
but there was so like in Nashville, it really was. It was Princess Hot Chicken was the one spot that everybody wanted to go to that came to Nashville. And that's when she was located on Ewan Drive. So that to me was like the highlight. Oh, let's order Princess. So yeah,
Oh, is that the hot chicken?
hot chicken.
Yeah, I send a picture to Benton when I go to my gym. Uh, they have a little area where they have a cafeteria. Then they announced they had Nashville hot chicken at the gym that I go to. Yeah, it was pretty funny to see. And I had just come back from Nashville, and I go to the gym, and it's Nashville hot chicken. So,
Is it
so,
fried?
huh?
I said, is it fried at the gym?
Yeah, they sell fried food at the gym. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, that's what they do. Food and catering trucks, as I travel, even I mean, I've been to Europe too, and food trucks are becoming really much more common. And for me, I think it really reflects opportunities for people who come from different ethnic backgrounds and different cultures to bring their food to share with
Mhm.
people in a way that if they don't have the funds to really open up a restaurant, it's at least a way for them to test their recipes and to see what the public would like, So my first food service job was selling hot dogs at a hot dog stand in New York,
Okay.
so I have a relationship to that experience of what it means. But you moved from like in-house restaurants to kind of this catering barbecue. How did you make that decision?
So I had purchased the food truck while I was still the executive chef at Tennessee State. I knew it was something that I wanted to do. I've always wanted my own business. Food trucks to me are able to you can get around different parts of the city to have different people try your food. But with winning the show, it just gave me more of the opportunity and the courage to quit my job and to go full head on with the food truck. So Coley's Juke Junt is my food truck, and it's also catering. We do catering. On the food truck, I have a smoker, so that's where a lot of the barbecue comes in. But with my catering, I do. It's not just because I'm a chef. I don't just focus only on barbecue. I do a little bit of everything.
So your food truck is more the barbecue, but your catering is a much more expansive menu
Absolutely.
option. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you won this barbecue contest. The women I work with, she says her parents are really into that show, so they're probably going to be excited to see you with
Okay.
this interview. Yeah, but what is it your secret? What was it that distinguished you in this competition? And I learned traveling throughout the South that, and also through Texas and St. Louis. Barbecue is just one of these foods that you hear barbecue, but it's spoken in different languages in different parts of the country. I mean, I learned about, the vinegar-based barbecue, and then the mustard-based barbecue, and then you have the tomato-based barbecue. You have all these kinds of different forms. So how would you classify your form of barbecue?
So I will say one of the things I really think that stuck out on the show and that helped to just solidify my win and who I am is that I believe that barbecue can be elevated. And so it's me doing different things using, some of the same techniques, whether it's, with the pork ribs. I have a seasoning that I have that's called Elevated AF. And to me, it's elevating barbecue and even Southern food, soul food, to show that you're able to plate these things in an elevated manner. And it's not always what you see. A lot of people think of barbecue and they think of the little, small restaurants that aren't actually places that they would go for a nice dinner. For me, it's whenever you have, I do a lot of pop-ups as well. And
Mhm.
a lot of my pop-ups my menus are curated with barbecue, but I plate them in a way that it's not just your regular barbecue plate. So it's elevating barbecue and showing that barbecue and soul food can both, be upscale, elegant, elevated, and not just what people seem to always think of it as.
Yeah. So when you have a barbecue sandwich, a pulled pork sandwich, do you put the coleslaw on the sandwich or do you put the coleslaw on the outside of the sandwich?
Now, probably on it because to me it makes the sandwich look sexier. So I like to put a little sweet and spicy pickles on it, and then the coleslaw, and that way the coleslaw, it's everything is kind of running down. It makes the sandwich look really sexy to me.
Yeah. I noticed that was one of the differences from North Carolina and South Carolina or whatever. Sometimes they put the coleslaw on the
On
sandwich
it.
and sometimes they put it on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just little
Absolutely.
nuances of barbecue. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's making it your own. Making it
Huh?
your own. I believe barbecue is making your own. That's why you have all these different regions of barbecue,
Yeah, it's
and what,
like gumbo, right?
yes,
Everybody's gumbo
it's the best,
is
right? And
different.
it's a
Yeah.
little different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How have you seen the growth in Nashville and its dining scene and its whole music economy and Broadway, I'm told, can have 30,000 people out on a good night, which is most every night in Nashville. So how have you seen the city change? And do you see it as a good thing, or do you feel that there may be some challenges?
It's a great thing with a lot of challenges. Some of the challenges will be, the cost of lease and things of that nature have gone up. Traffic is not the best anymore. There was once a time where you could get to anywhere in Nashville in about 15 to 20 minutes, and now it's about an hour. So, in traffic, starting
Mhm.
at about 2:30. So those are some of the big challenges, but I think that it's great. The growth in tourism is great for Nashville. You have people that are coming from all over the world to come experience some of the things that Nashville has to offer, whether it's the barbecue, whether it's the chicken, whether it's the music, whether it's, any of the dining experiences that are here that are very unique. So I think that the growth is great as the in the aspect of the tourism. I just wish we had the infrastructure to make it a lot easier to get around.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you're going to be on a panel at our summit. It's about women in dining, hospitality, entertainment, and sport. And you have Erica from the Bluebird Cafe, and you've
Mhm,
got Marilyn from the Predators. One of two
mhm.
women presidents of a hockey team. So it's an interesting mix, and they're all going to be as well. Talk about what has been their path as a woman trying to navigate this predominantly male
Mhm.
oriented industry and what challenges have you faced through your career and not only just as a woman but also a woman of color, which adds another dimension to the challenges you may have faced.
Absolutely. I mentioned earlier, I stepped away from food for about 3 years, and it was because of the challenges of being in this male-dominated field. Here I am working harder than most of the men that I was working with, yet continue to be passed over for advancement. And that really took a toll on me. And I needed to take those 3 years away. But during those 3 years away, it also reminded me of how much I loved being in the kitchen and the passion that I have of service and hospitality. And I needed to get back to that because that is my happy place. And so going back and becoming the sous chef and then getting the executive chef position, and doing tons of other things within Aramark as far as being parts of RFPs and I just really, I believe that uh, being an African American woman, that in this industry, you do have to work a lot harder than some people to be seen. And it was difficult, but I did do those things, and I'm very proud of the accomplishments that I've made.
And so, do you think that becoming an independent, you're basically kind of opening the floodgates of your talent that you'll be appreciated and compensated for what you offer?
Oh, absolutely. Even that there's a huge difference from being, you working in a corporate world and receiving that paycheck versus you being out on your own and working for yourself. Um, One of the greatest things that came of that was just knowing that I did not have to answer to anyone else, knowing that I knew I've always done the right thing for whatever position I was in, and it's knowing that I don't have to answer to anyone to continue to do that. I had been asked many times, and while I was an executive chef, to do things that was against my morals or my integrity. And I just would not do that. And now I know that, every move that I make is about my integrity.
Well, that sounds great. It sounds like you've had a great path, and you've learned all along the way
Right.
different challenges. As a singer I know, she wrote a song, "I'm not lost, I'm exploring." So if I look down on my life, some people would say that I was lost, but in fact, I was exploring. So it sounds to me like
Yeah.
you did a lot of exploring, and you've actually found your place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for your time. I look forward to meeting you in person. Maybe I'll even be able to experience some of your barbecue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whenever you're in town, please let me know.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.